Being successful and mastering skills usually doesn't come all at once. I'm Bill Snodgrass. Welcome to episode 27. Well, it looks like it's going to be a beautiful sunny day, and so I'm going to get out, and I think I'm going to go to Lemon Lake Park and try to do some, cinematic BRoll stuff and talk a little bit about this concept of how you become really good at something. So I guess I need my coat, and let's get out of here. All right, let's go. The idea of being able to go from I want to do something to I can do it the way I want to do it is not usually something that happens all at once. Usually there are steps along the way of various stages you go through to reach that. Now in psychology there's a concept called successive approximation, and what that means is that there are multiple attempts, each of which gets successively closer to the desired goal. In succession, you approximate what you're trying to achieve. And so successive approximations, you start here and then you get to here and you go, okay, that was good. Next time, getting to here is not enough. You've got to go a little further. You have to approximate that goal behavior a little bit more. So the first time here is okay, and the next time you've got to get to here before you give yourself the pat on the back. And the next time you've got to get to here before you give yourself the pat on the back. So successive approximation is a process that you go through to go from just starting out to some level of behavior that you've defined for yourself, and you do it stage by stage by stage. While I put my camera together, I want to say a couple things about the concept of this gradual progression to success. It doesn't come all at once. Being successful is something that, and by successful, it could be various different definitions of that. One of which would include taking that perfect picture or shooting that perfect video, and that would be a measure that you would judge yourself. But to the point that it doesn't come all at once. And from psychology, there's a behavior modification concept called successive approximation, and I think it applies to these kinds of skills that we are trying to develop. Successive approximation means that that you do something and you almost get it, and so then there's a reinforcement. So the next time you have to do a little bit better to get that reinforcement. And they use this a lot of times in training animals, and probably if you've raised a dog, getting them to sit and stay and those kinds of things are all examples of successive approximation. Well, for me in photography, I went through a lot of years of taking pictures that I always would look at it and think, this is what I could do to make it better. Somewhere along the way, though, there are pictures that I take sometimes, and not all pictures. I don't think I'll ever get to the point where every picture is like this. But I'll look at a picture and I'll think, there's nothing I could have done to make this picture better. There are things I could have done to make this picture different, but this is it. This is the better version. There's not a better than this. And I'd like to get to there in videography. And I've got a few little segments here and there throughout my vlogs and things where I look at it and go, that came out the way I wanted it to. And I could do it different, but as far as doing it better. So as people go through these journeys of skill development, the idea of successive approximation more. So for example, let me go back to training animals. When you're training your dog, like around the food bowl, if you have a large dog, you need to have some discipline around that food bowl, or you're going to lose a hand. And so, you know, you start with getting the dog to sit and wait. And well, the end goal is the dog will sit and wait and watch you fill the bowl and wait and then go when you release him or her. You don't get there with the puppy right off. You know, first of all, you kind of have to get the dog to sit in the first place. And then you go through the different steps as you go along the way to get the puppy to wait longer and longer until finally the puppy is doing what you want. So it's successive approximations. The payoff is, for the puppy, that they get to go to the food bowl. And the payoff for us is we get to keep our hands, but you know, that's actually not part of the training process. So whatever it is that you're trying to learn to do, play a sport, runners, you know, if you're trained for a marathon, you don't go out and start running 26 miles to start with. It's successive approximations. You start off walking a mile, and you give yourself the cognitive reward for that, pat yourself, you know, on the back, and then the next time you walk 2 miles, and you get to the point where you're jogging 6 miles, and then you're jogging 16 miles, and who knows what, eventually you're running marathons. You don't start from being a couch potato to a marathon runner in one step. It's successive approximations of that end goal. So I've got some videos loading up right now, and I was watching some other videos, and I see these videos. These guys are diving, but they're wearing life jackets. Now, I don't really know what that is, but I don't think it's diving. If you're wearing a life jacket, is it really? I don't know what it is. Jumping? I'm pretty sure this is one of those things where I'm just making a lot out of nothing. So I got my camera ready. I'm on my way to church again. I've stopped at Living Lake Park and thought I would go out. It was, when I left the house, it was just beautiful, sunny. It's kind of getting a little hazy now, but I'm gonna try to get a little bit of B-roll and you know, some stuff like that, and just kind of look around and explore. So that's the plan. So let's go do that. Well, that seems like it was a fairly waste of time, and now I'm gonna be cutting it close to get to church. I got 5 minutes and not far to go. So the sun went away, the wind kicked up, and that was not fun. I literally, I don't know what you saw how far I walked. I walked down there, turned around, walked back. Tried to do a little side B-roll stuff. Anyway, So that'll be it for the video. Short and sweet. You can't just jump right to success. You gotta take things step by step and make those little incremental gains until you get to where you want to be. I want to throw this challenge out, particularly my photography club. This came up. Push yourself to do something every day that advances you towards whatever that is you're trying to be. So I told my photography club, I was like, I want you to take one picture every day that you feel like showing somebody else. That's kind of like a starting point. So one picture every day that you feel like is good enough to share with someone else. And I'm not talking about like a selfie on what is it, Snapchat. I meant like, you know, a picture with a story in it. And so the same thing applies. Whatever it is that you're working on for yourself, whatever it is that you're trying to become for who you are, do something every day that successfully approximates that version of you. I gotta go. Thanks for watching. Do that comment, like, share, subscribe thing, and I will see you in the next episode.